The Remarkable Life of Wonderful Walker, a tale of virtue and simplicity. Welcome, esteemed viewers, to an in-depth exploration of an extraordinary figure from 18th century England, a man whose life exemplifies virtue, simplicity, and unparalleled resourcefulness. Today, we delve into the life of Robert Walker, affectionately known as Wonderful Walker. Consider this. On an annual income of merely £24, a sum equivalent to approximately £4,000 in today's currency, Walker lived comfortably to the age of 94. He raised 8 children with dignity, provided university educations for 2 of his sons, and upon his passing, left an estate valued at £2,000, a substantial amount for his time. In an era marked by economic challenges and social stratification, how did this humble clergyman and cotton spinner achieve such remarkable feats? Let us embark on a meticulous examination of his life and uncover the principles and practices that enabled his exceptional accomplishments. Early life. Robert Walker was born in 1709, the youngest of 12 children, in a modest yeoman family residing in the picturesque valley of Seathwaite, situated in the Lake District of England. The yeoman class, owning small parcels of land, represented the backbone of rural English society. However, economic limitations often constrained educational opportunities. Walker's father, observing his youngest son's delicate constitution, unsuited, he believed, for the rigors of manual labor, resolved to provide him with an education. This decision was atypical, given the family's limited means and the societal expectations of the time. Despite scarce resources, Walker demonstrated exceptional diligence and perseverance. He pursued an education in the classics and divinity, subjects then essential for clerical positions within the Church of England. Ordination and choosing Seathwaite. Upon his ordination in 1735, Walker was presented with a choice between 2 curacies, each offering a meager annual stipend of £5. This sum, even when adjusted for inflation, represents a starkly minimal income, highlighting the socioeconomic realities faced by lower-tier clergy in the Anglican Church. Walker selected the curacy of Seathwaite not solely due to its familiarity as his native valley, but for pragmatic and personal reasons. Crucially, Seathwaite included a modest parsonage accompanied by a garden of 3/4 of an acre, a valuable asset for subsistence living. Walker was engaged to Anne, an intelligent and industrious domestic servant who had prudently saved £40 from her earnings, a considerable sum reflecting her frugality and foresight. Their marriage in 1736 was a partnership founded on mutual support and shared values, essential for the life they were about to undertake, family life. Robert and Anne Walker embarked on their life together within the confines of their modest means. Over the years, they were blessed with 8 children, each arrival met with joy and unwavering affection. In an age when high child mortality rates were common, their profound sorrow at the loss of one child underscores the depth of their familial bonds. The Walker household was characterized by activity, warmth, and industriousness. The children, raised in an environment that valued hard work and education, contributed to the family's endeavors from an early age. The family's ability to thrive despite economic limitations is a testament to their collective effort and disciplined lifestyle. Diversification of roles and income. To sustain his growing family, Walker adeptly expanded his roles within the community, exemplifying the multiplicity of functions often undertaken by rural clergymen of his time. Beyond his ecclesiastical duties, he served as the parish's legal advisor, notary, conveyancer, appraiser, and arbitrator. These roles required a sound understanding of legal principles and property laws, which Walker had acquired through diligent self-education. By charging moderate fees for these services, he augmented his clerical income. During peak periods, particularly at the commencement of the agricultural year when contracts and leases were negotiated, Walker's workload intensified substantially. It was not uncommon for him to work through the night, meticulously drafting legal documents by candlelight. Agriculture and animal husbandry formed another critical component of the family's sustenance. Walker personally tilled his garden until his children were old enough to assist, maximizing the productive capacity of their land. The family maintained 2 cows and several sheep on the nearby fells, exercising their rights of pasturage, a customary legal entitlement in rural communities. These animals provided essential resources: milk, butter, meat, wool, and hides. In addition, Walker rented 2 to 3 acres of arable land for cultivating crops, further ensuring food security. His participation in communal agricultural activities such as sheep shearing and haymaking not only reinforced social bonds but also yielded tangible benefits in the form of wool and hay. The educator of Seathwaite. Perhaps most remarkably, Walker served as the schoolmaster for the parish, an embodiment of the perpetual curate whose influence extended into education. Conducting classes within the church itself, Walker taught for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 4 hours on Saturdays, a rigorous schedule indicative of his commitment to education. Utilizing the communion table as his desk and seated within the altar rails, he seamlessly integrated his pedagogical duties with practical labor. While students engaged in their lessons, Walker operated a spinning wheel, producing yarn from wool, a dexterous example of multitasking that combined economic necessity with time efficiency. A self-sustaining household. The Walker family's self-sufficiency was a product of meticulous planning and unwavering discipline. They embraced a lifestyle devoid of waste and luxury, adhering strictly to the principles of frugality and utility. All clothing worn by the family was the result of an integrated process. The sheep they raised provided wool, which was then carded, spun, woven, and tailored entirely within the household. This not only minimized expenses, but also ensured a level of quality and durability in their garments. Energy needs were met by harvesting peat from local bogs, a labor-intensive task that the family undertook together. This peat served as fuel for heating and cooking, critical in the damp climate of the Lake District. They produced their own candles, an essential commodity before the advent of gas and electric lighting. By mastering the craft of candle making, they reduced dependence on external markets. Food production was managed with equal efficiency. The monthly slaughtering of a sheep provided fresh meat, while in autumn, a cow was salted and preserved to supply sustenance through the winter months. Hides from these animals were tanned and fashioned into shoes, demonstrating a holistic utilization of resources. Hospitality and community engagement. Despite their austere lifestyle, the Walker household was renowned for its hospitality, a cornerstone of their community engagement. On Sundays, parishioners who traveled considerable distances to attend services and wished to stay for the afternoon sermon were invariably welcomed into their home. The number of guests often swelled, yet the family managed these gatherings with grace and generosity. Leftovers from these communal meals were consumed by the family over subsequent days, illustrating an economy that wasted nothing. Walker also extended his craftsmanship to enhance the church, lining his sister's pew with woolen cloth he had produced. Recognition and humility. Robert Walker's virtues did not go entirely unnoticed beyond Seathwaite. In 1754, nearly 2 decades into his tenure, a traveler's account of his life was published, drawing attention to his extraordinary way of living. The visitor described Walker's modest attire, a coarse blue frock with horn buttons, a checked shirt, and shoes plated with iron, emphasizing his practicality. He depicted a household engaged in collective industry, with children spinning wool, and Walker himself carrying heavy loads of yarn to market on foot. This exposure led to an offer from the Bishop of Carlisle to annex an adjacent parish to Seathwaite, effectively doubling Walker's clerical income. However, Walker declined the offer, citing concerns over potential discontent among parishioners and the disruption of their spiritual services. Family successes. Walker's dedication extended to his children's futures. 2 sons followed in his footsteps, becoming clergymen in the Church of England, a significant achievement given the educational and financial barriers of the time. Another son pursued a trade as a tanner, while his 4 daughters made advantageous marriages. The family maintained strong bonds, often reuniting during Christmas, a time when the entire clan would attend church together and partake in communion. Later years and personal loss. In his later years, Walker faced the profound personal loss of his wife, Anne. Their partnership of over 6 decades had been the cornerstone of his life and endeavors. At her funeral, despite being over 90 and nearly blind, he insisted on serving as a pallbearer, a poignant testament to his enduring love and commitment. Her absence weighed heavily upon him. During sermons, he found his gaze drawn to the pew where she once sat, her presence now a cherished memory. Final days and legacy. On a serene evening, Walker, supported by his daughter's arm, stepped outside to observe the night sky, a simple pleasure he often enjoyed. Remarking on the clarity of the moon, he returned indoors. That night, in 1802, he passed away peacefully at the age of 94. Walker left behind an estate valued at £2,000, reflecting a lifetime of thrift and prudent management. More importantly, he left an indelible legacy of virtue, self-reliance, and community service. His life was later immortalized by the poet William Wordsworth in The Excursion, where he is referred to as the Wonderful, acknowledging the deep impact he had on those around him. Lessons from Wonderful Walker. Robert Walker's life offers profound lessons for contemporary society. His embodiment of hard work, frugality, and self-sufficiency demonstrates how resourcefulness can overcome material limitations. His commitment to education, both as a personal pursuit and a communal responsibility, highlights the transformative power of knowledge. Walker's unwavering dedication to his community, prioritizing collective well-being over personal gain, serves as a model for ethical leadership. His ability to find contentment and joy in simplicity challenges modern notions of success tied to material wealth. In reflecting upon the remarkable life of Robert Wonderful Walker, we are reminded that the measure of a life's impact is not found in wealth or status, but in the virtues practiced and the lives touched. Walker's story is a testament to the power of integrity, humility, and unwavering commitment to one's principles. As we navigate the complexities of the modern world, his legacy invites us to reconsider our values and to seek fulfillment not in excess, but in the richness of simplicity and the strength of community bonds. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of a life lived with purpose and grace. May the story of Wonderful Walker inspire us all to aspire toward greater virtue and to recognize the profound influence one individual can have on the world around them. Until next time, let us carry forward the lessons of the past to enrich our present and shape a more compassionate future.